Ebony Alexandra.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank
We're
you for
excited
having
to
me.
have you.
Yes.
Yes, what's going on with your sis before we dive back into the combo?
Just working, trying to navigate this new area that we're in after writing this book.
Yes.
So excited. It's opened like so many doors and
Oh,
just
good.
excited for the future.
Good, good, good. So, Ebony is also a co author on the Matters of Her Heart Tapestry collection, along with Dr. Kim. So, super excited to have these beautiful ladies here. In reference to business, relationships, like that's what this
Mm-hmm.
podcast is all about. But we definitely want to know more. What's new with you? What's going on?
Well, what's new? The book. This book, I think that's the newest thing. I don't know about for everyone else, but for me, absolutely the book.
Yeah. I
Like
didn't
I.
even tell people we officially released it February 22nd,
Mm-hmm.
so it is very new.
Absolutely, and just all the excitement off of what we accomplished as a group.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just so wonderful. I think we've touched a lot of women with
Yeah.
this book,
Yeah.
But we're not going into that right now, I guess.
Right. No, no,
So,
no, no. We are. We are.
okay,
Because the title of your chapter is Baby, You're Going to Be Okay. So
yes.
tell us what inspired you. How did you come up with the title? Just go ahead. Tell us more.
Okay, so like you said, the title of my chapter is "Baby, You're Going to Be Okay." Honestly, it's about my journey with the loss of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my mother when I was 15, and very traumatic situation. And um, like I talk about in my chapter, she was in and out of the hospital a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time that she was in the hospital, her last words to me was, "Baby, you're going to be okay." And I
Oh
didn't
wow.
understand what that meant. At 15,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that I was losing my mother.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've grown, matured, life is life, I realized what those words meant, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been true. They've
Mm-hmm.
been absolutely true. Like, no matter what I've been through, no matter what has happened, all my trials, everything has always been okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I owed it to her
Mm-hmm.
to let her know I understand, that her words were true. I've held on to them. I use those words for anybody that comes to me and talks to me about things that are going on with their life, or their situations. Is, baby, you're going to be okay no matter
Mm-hmm.
what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to trust and believe. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. I can only imagine at 15 years old what that felt like.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And the
tough.
fact that you still stand there, I know people who lost their parents early like that. People don't
Mm-hmm.
typically recover that well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, I got a good friend of mine. Uh, I watched that dude almost crumble
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
behind that. I want to say he was 15 when he
Mm.
lost his mom. His faith in God wavered
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
because now it was the cliche. I prayed for God to save my mama and He didn't. So how good can this God be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it was like decades, I think, before he even set foot back in the church. So the fact that you even able to process what happened to you and
Mm.
then use that to bless other people is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Not everybody's able to do that.
Well, exactly what you're saying are the things that I went through.
Yeah,
I
Mm-hmm.
definitely, my faith was tested. I even
Mm-hmm.
talk about that in my chapter, that
yeah,
I couldn't understand why I wasn't deserving of having a mother. Like, I come from a big family. So my mom was one of 10,
yeah,
and all of her siblings were alive, and
Right,
all of my
right.
cousins the same age as me, everyone had their mother. I'm the
yeah,
only one that's I
Mm.
don't have my mother. Now I'm looking at all these different people to try to raise me. And
yeah,
I have older siblings, so when I'm 15, they're early 30s, and so
Mm-hmm.
now they're having to take me in, and it's like, ugh, this is not it. Like, I know the
yeah,
difference of what having your mother's love and having
Mm-hmm.
like sibling love, or other people tell you that they love you.
yeah,
So it was like, my faith was definitely tested.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't understand, like, what did I do?
yeah,
And even just like prior to her passing away, she was sickly for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to be like an adult in my household. I have a lot of older siblings, but they were all out the house. So when she was getting sick, when, she couldn't take care of herself, it was me that, was there. My siblings would come eventually,
Right.
but it was me in the house, like taking care of her, taking care of myself. And it was just like, I knew then, like, this isn't normal, but then when she ultimately passed, it's like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I knew that was my pivoting point where I'm like, okay, I have to act like an adult. I'm 15, but like, I know I have my siblings and stuff, but they have their own families, and I could see that, I used to tell my siblings all the time, like, once I got older, I'm like, when mommy was alive, you guys expected me to be like an adult in the house. Like, you would call me and make sure I was taking care of stuff because you couldn't be there.
Yeah.
And it was like, then when she passed and I moved in with them, it was like, now you're a kid. And I'm like, hey, hold on. This doesn't make sense. I was just grown.
Yeah.
I was just grown, going to the grocery store, the store and close to the neighborhood. I was making sure she had her meds. I was making sure we, everything around the house. It's like, but then I had to, when I transitioned to moving in with my sibling, it's like, okay, you're a kid. You can't do certain things. And it's like, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this anthology, my vision has always been to, 1, advance the kingdom of God, and 2, help other sisters in Christ.
Right.
So how would you say, because we've been getting tons of feedback, like very positive feedback, rave reviews. We even have some stars on Amazon. So
I saw that.
5-star
Yep,
reviews.
I
I'm
saw
super excited
that.
about that. So with that being said, how would you say that your story has been able to impact other women? I'm sure you've heard.
Absolutely. Honestly, so touching. When I first posted about my book online, a young lady reached out to me and said, because I've been very, very upfront about losing my mom. Like, I've always talked about it. But then when I finally wrote the book, I felt like I was able to release so much that was holding me back, a lot of my trauma that I honestly didn't even know I had that trauma. I didn't realize it. And I'm like, all the things that I was going through in life stemmed back to that.
Right.
So,
and I think that's the common thread that I've been hearing amongst all the people that
yes.
have participated in this anthology. The release.
Yes.
I think I'm having a whole education moment because we think about, the power of writing.
Yes.
And how it's such an emotional it's an emotional connection between the person and the pen. It's like my emotions, my feeling. Even if it's just a response to a question, it's like that is me on paper, and I can push this out for other. And it's a vulnerable piece. Writing is so vulnerable because you're letting somebody see that inner part of you on paper, and they're able to read through that, process it for themselves, and then ultimately they'll come to their own conclusions. Some people may criticize.
Yes.
Some people may do. They may have a lot of emotions based on what you put out. So it's like. It is like I'm making this personal connection with you, Latrice, and you to say, when you write something out, it's like no matter how vocal you've been about it,
you
like,
put it on paper.
when you put it on paper, and somebody, binds it, puts
And they
it
have it
together, and they
forever.
have it forever.
Forever.
It's like, oh,
What's
wait a minute,
happening,
that's a whole different, transaction. That's a different move. So
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, and being that I've written 3 children's books and participated in 2 anthologies, I think about that very thing, Kim. Like, these are things that I have written, and the children's books reflective of my life also. Parts of my life that I have shared that are in the universe forever. And I'm completely okay with that because it's to glorify God. Everything that we go through has a purpose, and we can't forget that. So as long as it's for his edification, we good to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I want to speak, if I can, positively into your situation. You can't discredit experiences and pain and hurt that people feel, especially at 15. But in the Bible, he says, think on these things. Whatever is good, whatever is kind, whatever is noble, whatever is pure.
Yep.
It says think on the excellent things. It's like look at how good he was because he knew that your mom was going to exit early, but you still had a village. Even though older siblings may have moved with different levels of judgment, different type of support.
Mm-hmm.
You had somebody,
Absolutely.
and he allowed you to move in such a way where you gained skills, you gained understanding. You were able, whatever it was that, you know, those places that he put you, you are a testimony of what I did for you prior to you going through it, and you still, yes, you questioned him,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew you would,
Mm-hmm.
but he kept you going, and you kept going with him. It's like, okay, I know something.
Right.
At that piece of saying with your mother, baby, you're going to be okay, that was his lifeline to you to say, keep going. It
Right.
might have been given through your mother, but that was him saying,
Words from him.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to be here, but I got you. And you have 15 years of whatever that's going to fuel you as you continue.
Has fueled.
Yeah,
Has
as you
fueled me.
continue, it's going, and you, because
Has,
you
yes.
still going.
Yes, ma'am.
You still, you know, you wrote it, and it's like, hey, I got you.
Yes.
He said it to you.
Absolutely.
He said it to you.
Let me ask you a question, Dr. Kim. I feel like I gotta call you Dr. Kim. I feel like
Kim is
She
actually
goes by Kim.
I can go by Kim.
I
I
don't
call
call
her
you.
Dr. Kim because she is.
I'm gonna call you Dr. Kim. You're using a
That
lot of
part.
big words in here, so I'm gonna call you Dr. Kim.
And it sounds so good.
Yeah, so eloquent, right? I feel positive from you, right? It's no angle. You waiting on angle. There's no angle. Okay. Do you feel? Do you have a disbelief in no negative talk,
disbelief.
or a belief in no negative talk? I don't have the degrees you have, so forgive me.
Stop.
do you
Stop.
do you think someone should never have a negative thing to say about themselves? I love the fact that she's thinking about it. A lot of people.
But in education, we know that wait time is what? Think time, right? Right. You
I don't know if
that.
that's education.
It is education.
No.
Kim,
No. I'm
is
not.
it
I'm not
education?
saying that it's not education, but I'm saying what she's doing right now
Yeah,
is
It's think time.
is wise.
it's
Yeah,
waste time.
it's
Right.
time.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Spiritually speaking, what negative can you say about yourself? If we are made in his image,
Mm-hmm.
what negative can you say?
Is that rhetorical or?
I mean,
Okay,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like it's what negative can you say? I don't really think that there's an answer to it. God Almighty. He said, this is who you are and this is how I want you to be.
Yes, yes.
I am perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You're
I am
reflection.
perfect.
Okay.
If you are a reflection of me,
Mm.
you have him with you. We're not perfect in our humanness. We're not.
Right.
So if we shift from what he says to our reality,
Mm-hmm.
will we ever say negative things about ourselves? I think yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you will. Because we go through life experiences. I think we go through disappointment, we go through rejection, we go through being discouraged. You know, there's just different emotions that will cause you to not think of yourself in the most positive way, and those words can come out. Now the difference is the people who stand with those negative thoughts, and the people that say, okay, this is what I thought, but if I move back to my understanding of how he created me, okay, I'm going to make mistakes. He said, "It's not, I never told you wouldn't have trials or problems or that you were going to be perfect. What I did say is that, you know, I've overcome the world and I got your back. You know, that's my Jesus with the jeans and stuff.
got you.
That I have your back." So when we do get to those negative thoughts, it is important for us to, again, meditate on his word to bring us back and say, okay. It's like he said he's our shepherd. So
Yeah.
a shepherd has, the staff. The staff is curved at the top. That's just
Yeah,
it's
to
to
reel
bring you
you
back
right on
in.
back
So
in.
if you stand on the he'll bring you back in, and then
Absolutely.
that negative talk then shifts to what did I say?
Yeah.
Because if I go back to my scripture, blessed is she that believed that what the Lord had said.
Yeah.
What did He say?
Yeah.
So then your answer is yes. We do think negatively
you will.
about ourselves sometimes, but it's the good shepherd.
It's the good
Wheels
shepherd.
you back.
Thank you for the
that
summer.
brings us right on
That's
back.
right.
Some-
in.
look, that's
you
what-
know that's
That's
what we
right.
do.
Let's reach
Get
on back
wheeled
into this
on
education
in.
rant. It says summarization.
Yes,
Just like that.
So
Yes,
let me tell you why I
yes.
asked that question. That question was for you, but not just for you. Okay. When she cut this up, when we kind of get the full thing for this, I know you. Does she know what I do at all? Okay.
What do you do?
Well, I kind of
Let us
introduced
know.
you
All right.
as a former teacher.
Yeah.
I know what you don't do.
What do you do now?
I know what you don't
He's
do.
over like the young adults for Concord Baptist Church.
So I'm the young adult director at Concord Church.
Yeah.
Okay, let's cut this out. Look, pause. Hey, Pastor Carter be putting some messages down.
Yeah.
Just been here lately.
Yeah, he been in his zone lately. For sure. Yeah, he been in his zone. He been in his
Okay,
zone.
I need to tune into the series.
Oh, this
I
is
have
me.
it.
Oh, I go to OCPF, so
Okay.
Okay,
But
yeah.
and I had to hit that early morning service because I have a whole lot of stuff to do. I was
Okay.
like, some days, let me see what they doing over here at
Okay,
Concord,
thank
and then
you.
they hit that.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
I
that.
got you. My group doesn't always think. What's the best way to say this? All of them are not in that word, right? A lot of them live on devotionals, which is cool, right? But it's like a small piece. Some of them, when they open their Bible on Sunday when Carter teaching, when they get back next Sunday, is on the same scripture they was on the last Sunday, right? Not all of them believe that what they're doing is wrong, or let me not say they don't believe it's wrong. They don't necessarily acknowledge that it's wrong to move to a better place, if that makes sense. And I, in my thought process behind that, and that's why I told you earlier, like I don't lie to me, right? I want my people to be real with themselves. You can't be made right if you don't know that you're wrong. There's no need for a Jesus if there ain't no sin, right? There's no need for salvation if you're doing everything that you need to do and it's just part of your journey, right? It may be part of your journey, but I want my people to acknowledge that I'm on this dirt road. He placed me on the interstate, but I'm on the dirt road.
Yes,
Don't tell yourself that you're okay on this dirt road. Your identity is up on that interstate. So, but if you never acknowledge the dirt road, you don't even see a need to get back to the interstate, if that makes sense, right? So I'm trying to culminate. I use one of y'all school words. I try to
So
culminate
silly.
like how to mesh what I hear you saying versus how I've been approaching it, to kind of mesh those things together to give them their identity
Gotcha.
in who they are in Him, while also not neglecting where they are, so they need to get back to Him. Does that make sense? So I just kind of wanted your thought process around that, just about the negative speech, because sometimes I may say I'm trash, right? Because if I don't acknowledge that I'm trash, I may not necessarily see a need to get better. When I realized I was horrible, for me, I'm talking about how I operate. When I realized I was horrible, it's like, okay, I probably need to put a little bit more effort into this outside of these school hours, versus I done told them I'm doing my best, right? I had to tell me I'm horrible to try to get a little bit better at it. So that's all I want.
Yeah, I think you have to acknowledge where you are, though, and how you do that varies, right? You
Yeah.
say you trash, I say I'm not. I say I'm in the process of getting to where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I
got
think
you.
it's a mindset, right?
But you don't, like you said, you don't know what you don't know.
Right,
Number one.
right.
So that's where we say education is the key to freedom. But if we take that to the Word of God, it's like reading His Word is the key to freedom. It
For
is the
sure.
key to the knowledge that you need to know to get from the dirt road to the interstate.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then in helping the kids, and you can, I bet you can, bring in from a young person's standpoint, your experience, what consistency and not just consistency, it's the taking what you learned from your mom from the time period that you had with her directly, the words she gave to you at the end, and how you can connect what you learned from her, that, and now to get you from your dirt road to the interstate.
Right.
So it's kind of like, hey, you have to take all the components of your life
Yeah.
and use them from a wise standpoint,
Right.
but continue in that.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge where you are first and foremost.
That's
you
where it
have
starts,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to get better,
You gotta
have
be
to acknowledge.
transparent.
Yeah.
You gotta be real with yourself.
That's true.
Like,
And tell us about your shirt, sis. I told everybody to wear their favorite shirt. So I see God plus me. Tell us more.
So my brand is Her Obsession. It stemmed from, I started with a hair company, Her Obsession Hair. And when I started it, I was all about hair and being pretty and everything, and I thought my life was going so good. And then things kind of fell apart. I don't know if we talked about this before.
I don't think so.
Things kind of fell apart right at like COVID, and I had to step back from it. And I kept saying, like, I'm sticking with Her Obsession. I'm sticking with Her Obsession because I believe women at that time, I wanted them to be obsessed with their hair, all about, looking good. But then when it fell apart, I'm like, I know there's meaning behind that. There's a reason I came up with that. But I didn't understand, why it fell apart. And as I went through some things. I went through some things, and I realized, I thought that being obsessed with, like, how I looked and, my outside, that was the way. And I'm like, I need to get with God. And everything that I wanted surrounding Her Obsession wasn't going to get right until I was right with God. And everything was going to spawn off of that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, my brand is Her Obsession. Is everything that a woman is supposed to be obsessed about with herself. And I'm stepping back. And the first thing I want women to be obsessed with is their God. I want them to realize that God is the key.
Because,
He is the answer.
The one and true
And
God.
That's it.
Yes.
And so God plus me is my obsession. I am obsessed with God and what He's doing for me, what He means to me, everything He's brought me from. Because I'm here right now, honestly, because of Him. Nothing else. And quick little story. How I met Latrice. So last year, really, really rough year for me. And got up one morning, I said, I'm going to church. I'm going to church. Didn't know where I was going. Didn't have a clue. But I got dressed and I'm going. Talked to my fiance, said, you want to go with me? He was like, you go. I was like, okay, I will. And so I got in my car and I Googled churches near me. Rockwell Friendship Baptist Church, first church that popped up. I said, let me drive on down there. It's 7 minutes away. Let me just go on up the road. So went to church, loved the service. The actual pastor wasn't there. He was on sabbatical. But I can't remember who was preaching that first Sunday, but I enjoyed it. I said, I'm going to come back. So I went back the next Sunday. He still wasn't there, but who was preaching? He did good too. The third Sunday, I believe pastor was back. And I was like, oh, I like this church. I'm going to join. And I joined. The fourth Sunday, Treese was standing in the hall. And this is a testament to being obedient. Latrice was standing in the hall, and I'm walking by, and she's smiling ear to ear, and I'm smiling because I'm friendly. So we smiled at each other. I was like, hey. She was like, hey. And we started talking. She was like, do you go here? I was like, I just joined. She was like, do you want to join my ministry?
Because I'm the leader of one of the largest ministries at the church.
Yes.
I'm a co-leader. Yep.
Yes. So she was like, I'm like, sure. Like, absolutely. So
I'll do it.
I'll do it. And got her information and joined the ministry, I believe, the maybe 2 weeks later. And have been a part of that with her ever since. But my obedience, and go back a little bit, having even this opportunity to share my story, which has allowed me to release so much and is allowing me to be on the path I'm supposed to, is all tied to my obedience to getting up. When God told me to get up and go to church, He told me to get up. I didn't question, cause we question. We so question. We, negotiate,
Justify.
justify. I didn't. I did not. I got up. I kept going. I met Latrice,
Talk about it.
joined the ministry, wrote my story, part of my story, released so much that has been holding me back. Literally has been holding me back. And I'm here today with you guys. And it's tied to the obedience. And I tell everyone that you have to first be obedient. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So what were we talking about? But yeah, that I truly believe the goodness of your life is tied to your obedience to God and the Word. And I did not realize that before. And He's been waiting for me to get it. And He's been putting me through some things because I didn't realize that. And now that I have, I feel like life doors have been open.
So we're going to go back to that good old song I've been singing the whole time. As I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say I've been blessed. I have a testimony.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
testimony. And I would say,
Absolutely.
like you hear people's story and you think, like me, I'm listening to you say, this is where you thought the company was supposed to be,
Right.
your business was supposed to be. It was
Right.
about obsession and hair
And beauty.
And beauty.
That wasn't it.
But you know what?
It can get back to that. But
He says, okay, I'm going to make this a layered opportunity for you.
Right.
First and
Yes.
foremost, I will show you that I am the foundation of it all. Yes, because it does say in the word that it's the inner beauty.
yes.
He
But
says it's the inner
companies
beauty.
rebrand all the time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so
And
to
they
me,
add
it
too.
sounds like you've rebranded.
Absolutely.
And
Because I've
that's
rebranded
needed.
myself.
You
It started
start
with
with
me.
it.
Beautiful.
Start
So,
with
and then too, I
Yes.
couldn't tell other women
I
to
love
be obsessed with themselves if I'm not that. I have to be it. And it started with God. And it was like
I
full
love it.
not 360, 180.
180.
Come on, 180. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
Awesome.
But
Chills.
I feel like it's really, really beautiful to share that part of your testimony, to say, hey, I started something. He placed something in me. And as I, move through the steps of creating, establishing,
Yes.
He brought me back. He said, wait a minute.
yes.
Let's understand what the foundation is and what it has to be in order
Yes.
for this to actually flourish the way I want it to.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's like, she has on a green shirt. She has on green eyeshadow. She's in here talking about rebranding. And, hey, some people can be like, oh, okay, you're going too far. But this is me. That's growth. He's like, hey, you grow in the fertile soil in which it's like, you think of soil
Yes.
that's on the ground. That's the
Yes.
foundation. It's like,
Yes,
hey,
ma'am.
I have it. And I was like, keep going with it. Because we have a lot of young ladies these days who need a lot of direction
Yes.
on outer beauty
Yes,
as well.
ma'am. Yes.
So he said, look, I'm gonna let you think that this is what it needs to be, but we're gonna bring you
But
back.
it's not.
We're gonna establish this foundation, and then we're gonna let you flourish.
And I know y'all hear a little accent going on, so tell the people where you're from.
Buffalo, New York, 716. I love y'all, Buffalo Bills. I love y'all, chicken wings, buffalo wings. I love y'all.
I'm into it.
Yes, 716, Buffalo, New York.
How long
born
you
and
been here?
raised. That's what I'm saying. 10 years this year.
See, some of us not willing to.
Wait
tell
a minute,
how
wait a
long
minute.
they
Let
been.
me tell you this. That's where her fiance is from. Kim.
Arkansas.
Yes,
Country
ma'am.
boy.
Hey,
Oh, it's so different.
country boy.
It's different.
But you love it.
I do.
They got some good people out there though.
Pine Bluff.
Come on, PB Stank City.
Yeah.
We on the map,
Country.
but that's not where I'm from.
And
I
I
got
think
it.
I know him too. Like we think we know
Yes.
each other because I was like, he looks super
Okay.
familiar.
Yes.
So yeah.
But
on.
yes, 716 Buffalo and
Absolutely.
Arkansas
Yes.
in Dallas. So look at there.
Look, what a meeting point.
Absolutely.
What a
Ladies,
meeting
I'm so grateful that we had the opportunity to be here with you today. But before we conclude this fantabulous first episode,
Yes.
definitely want to ask, what's your word for this year and why?
Obedience. Be obedient.
Mm-hmm. You want to tell us more?
No. Be obedient.
Just obedient.
Be obedient.
Okay.
Kim?
My word is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And because whatever you do consistently,
Mm.
be it positive or negative, has an impact.
Mm-hmm.
It's the consistency. You know, you will keep going. I could go to the second word, and that's not what you ask. But consistency with that discipline. It's like you have to have both. But the word is always going to be consistency. Whatever you do, either negatively or positively, has an impact. So consistency is there.
And I know Q's word is perseverance. And I know.
I just did something on there not too long ago.
Come on.
What'd you do?
I like you.
Consistency
I know
is what it is.
Q's word is perseverance, and mine is takeoff.
Mm.
Yes, child. I got a lot of things in the background working right now,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'll release them as we go. I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to connect with you guys, to minister to women because we need it. And I definitely am grateful for Q coming and just being so willing to be here and to give us that male perspective because I didn't want it to just be about women, but to also
Yes.
hear what value he had to add. So I'm grateful. Tell the people where they can contact you guys if they want to know more. Don't be shaking your head, Dr. Kim.
We can
Where
contact
can
you.
the people contact you? What is your email? Like, tell us something, sis. Tell us something.
You want me to go first?
Okay, she
Before you
want
go, can I
Ebony to
say
go.
something?
Yes.
Listen. What's inside of you is not common,
Mm-mm.
She knows this.
and she know that,
Yeah.
right?
Kim, stop.
She
I
know
have
that.
worked with her for a long time. Stop playing.
What God has put inside of you
Mm-hmm.
is remarkable,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Well, all praise and glory to him.
Absolutely.
Because what they don't know is when the
Can I say something?
behind closed doors, better hit the
Everybody in my family talked about, like, you know, when we went back after the book release, everybody in my
When Kim
family
got up
talked
to the
about
mic,
when
baby.
you got up to that mic.
Oh my God.
They were like, "Who was that last one?" Because you were the last one. I believe.
Had to
Yes.
adjust the microphone.
Yes. Everyone said that you gave a word. It came so naturally. You spoke from your heart. Everyone has such good things. It's everyone.
Well, tell them I said
I
thank you.
absolutely will.
But
Many thank yous.
it would be better if they could get some more wisdom from you.
How can they get to you? What's your social media?
I do not have
She
social
don't do social
I don't
media.
have social media.
Yep. That's
Never have. Just not into it. You know, you just never knew that you would have a space. And you know, it is. I will if
hang with me long enough.
Look
sis.
at me.
You're gonna have plenty
if
of
I have to
spaces.
be open and vulnerable,
Yeah.
it's very hard for me to take compliments.
Yeah.
So when I say that, it's very hard for me to take a compliment. So
But you got an email address, so
I
tell the
do.
people what it is.
K, it is kbassa3@gmail.com. That's K B as in boy ASSA 3 @gmail.com.
All right, sis. And what about you, Miss Ebony Alexandra?
Yes, so I'm back on social media. My Instagram handle is Ebony Alexandra. That's my personal. And then my business is I Am Her Obsession Brand. And then you can find me on Facebook, Ebony Alexandra as well. Yeah, that's it right now.
What about you, Cute or Great?
Mine is Curious Mind on IG. So q.rius.mind.
Tell me about the table.
Oh yeah.
How you gonna forget that?
I know that's my heart right there.
Yes.
The table?
So
The table.
the Concord Young Adults have like our own branch of kind of like our ministry, right? And it's called The Table. So like it's young adults. It's not just Concord. It's Social Dallas. It's some of your people. One community, like a lot of people pull up to this throughout the city. So we have our Bible study every week at the church, but then there's a once a month event where we have worship. We got a message, and then there's like a live Q&A after. So the audience has the opportunity to scan the QR code, and then send in live questions about whatever. It may be about what the speaker talked about, or it may just be a question they had since they was 8 years old and nobody answered,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, we're growing. When I took over, we had about 250. We're at almost 500 now, right?
Oh wow.
To God be the glory.
Yeah, so
This means to God be the glory.
and it's the growth in the
Yes.
numbers, but I can see people's walk change too. It's not just
yes.
we're not. I tell them all the time. I don't want to. It's dope that we got the numbers, but I don't want 1,000-person daycare, right? I want some mature people in here that
Yeah.
can pour back into the people that's coming behind him, because there's some 18, 19, 21-year-olds that need y'all to get through what you getting
That's
through.
right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of what y'all doing, right? Like y'all have. Y'all stories are amazing, and because you've persevered through that, you're able to pour that back into another group of people. So that's what we're trying to do there at Concord, to just grow up my young adults and make them the future leaders out there.
And it's
So,
amazing
love
energy.
that.
He invited me to be a panelist. He was supposed to be there.
yeah, got
I
sick.
was like, okay, he gonna be my safety net, and he got sick
Aw,
and
man.
couldn't show up. I was
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
gonna leave me stranded with
Yeah, I
people
did.
I don't know?
I did. My bad. My
I'm sure
bad.
you did an
But you
amazing
held
job,
it
Latrice.
down.
Nah, I just showed up as me.
did a good
I was
job. Don't let her. She did a good
uncomfortable.
job.
I ain't gonna lie. I was uncomfortable being in front of those super bright lights hitting you like head on. Like that was new for me.
It's a
but
big stage.
I'm
for sure.
adjusting. I'm
Yeah.
adjusting to it, but it is phenomenal energy, and like you can feel the hunger of the young adults. Like they really want to connect. They
What's your
really
age
want to
range?
connect.
So on paper, it says 18 to 35, but I don't have anybody from 18 to probably 22 in there. Yeah, they just don't feel like they fit. You got 32-year-olds in there. and
I was gonna
it
say
just-
I've seen some
yeah.
well past
so
it.
so
yeah.
my the bulk of my demographic is 24 to 31. But there's people that we have over 35.
Okay.
And there's probably a couple people that's in there, maybe 20, 21, right? But it's but the bulk of it's kind of like that 25 to 30 range. Yeah. But I ain't carding nobody at the door, right? If you won't come in,
And when
come
is
on
the
in.
next one
Yeah.
that you said you're speaking at?
March 26th.
March 26th. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all mark your calendars. All right, you guys. So excited that we had the opportunity to bring episode 1 to you. I didn't tell you about my social media handles, so let me do that real quick. You can connect with me at Her Heart Flow on Instagram. That's where all of this content will be. And also, I am in the process of creating a YouTube page, so I'll try to keep some consistency there at Her Heart Flow. Hopefully, it's not taken. But thank you, and see you on episode 2.
Cool.
How do we do? Okay.
That was so good.
Let me get a group picture.
That was so good.
Q don't know. I'm gonna try to drag him to episode 2, baby.
Out here in these streets.
Oh, he was